Welcome on back, everybody. It's Techie here for TechyTV. And we're bringing you guys the latest and greatest in the gaming news this week. This is actually last week's news, kind of. But we're going to bring it to you anyways. And if you haven't heard these stories yet, listen on in. If you already have heard them, listen to our commentary. It's all good. So getting straight to it, guys, we've got some Xbox One news for you. First up, the Xbox One's best features are going to be behind a paywall. And these are kind of like what I kind of think are the best features. They're not exactly everything. But so the DVR game recording feature, that's going to be behind the paywall. Skype's going to be the Xbox One guide, NFL football, and I think one called like Smart Sense or something. And so when I say paywall, guys, I'm actually referring to the Xbox Live Gold membership that you have to have for their multiplayer gaming. But these features as well, it's going to be behind the paywall. Now, some of those features I just mentioned weren't ever on the 360, and they're going to be kind of like new things to the Xbox One. What do you think about that, T-Money?
I don't know. I'm surprised they haven't kind of moved away from that, considering, you know, hasn't Sony kind of taken the opposite route, and you know, there's a lot of things that were anticipated to be behind a paywall that we're finding out aren't going to be. It's
right.
Not the case.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, the biggest things behind the paywall, which are kind of disappointing, I guess, might be Skype. And I guess that's just because Skype's free on the PC. And
right.
Considering that Microsoft owns Skype, you know, I thought that might be something that might be included for free. You know, I mean, obviously when I get an Xbox One or whatever, I'm going to have a gold membership because I'll definitely want to play multiplayer. So it's not a huge issue to me, but I guess for people that maybe just have an Xbox One for single player exclusives, if you wanted to record some footage of what you just played, you know, you're going to be required to have that. You know, kind of sad to hear and see, but, you know, that's their policies. And, you know, if you want to play their game and play with their toy trucks, you're going to have to follow the rules. So,
yeah, I guess, I mean, it kind of, not much can be done. I mean, I guess the person who is just going to be playing single player games may be less likely to want to use the game recorder and Skype. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess they might want to use the game recorder if they're doing something really cool in single player and want to show somebody how to do something. So,
right.
All right, so that's that, guys. And moving on, if you haven't heard, I know you probably have, but of course, Microsoft released their whole new promo video, and it was Major Nelson, he doing an unboxing of the Xbox One console. It was pretty cool. It was kind of cool. The guys over Inside Gaming went and did a couple spoof videos for an infomercial. It was pretty funny. If you haven't seen those, go check those out. But some major things that have now been officially uncovered is the fact that it will include a headset. Guys, I've talked about this in my previous gaming newscast. I've shown you pictures of what the headset's going to look like. So it's the same headset I've shown you. That will be included. So that's a cool, huge plus. Pat on the back for Microsoft for that.
Mm-hmm.
The huge power brick that the 360 had will be coming back. If not, it looks a little bit bigger than the 360 power brick.
Right, right.
But that'll be coming back. And then also they're going to throw you in a 4K HDMI cable. Awesome. Kudos, Microsoft. But here's the thing. Guys, who can afford a 4K TV? I mean, you know, an HDMI cable would have been cool. But you wouldn't made a 4K capable HDMI cable.
Right.
Then that might be cool for down the road in, you know, 3 to 4 years when, you know, 4K TVs prices start to drop and might start to get down to the more affordable price where, you know, the middle class can pick one of those up. But for right now, I mean, I don't really know very many people that can afford a 4K besides maybe Bill Gates himself.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I can't really say anything bad about the video. I thought the video was very informative. You know, it did show all the components of the system, and we did learn a lot of things from it.
Oh,
like,
definitely,
you know,
definitely. I liked the video. It was cool. We featured over at TechyTV Facebook page. You know, I liked how they went through everything, and it was pretty brief. They didn't try to drag anything out too much.
Yeah, so I mean, I agree, and but on the other hand, like I can't help but wonder, like, how much is that 4K HDMI cable? Is that how much do you think that's driving up the cost of those bundles? You know what I mean? Like, especially like when the cost of the package is such a deciding factor in which console the consumer is going to choose.
Right. Yeah, I almost feel like they almost pulled like a Sony PlayStation 3 launch move on there, including the 4K, as far as just like adding in extra premium shit that the majority of customers won't really need. We saw that with the initial PS3 launch when they had 4 USB ports, which I like. And then they threw in some extra stuff like the touch feature on the power on and off and things like that. And while I like that kind of stuff, when you're selling a console, you really have to look at what appeases the majority of your audience. And you have to factor that in with price ratio and things like that. I can't help but kind of think what you're thinking, T-Money, is, the majority of households aren't going to have a 4K TV, and if they are going to have one, it won't be for 3-4 years down the road. Now that's, both Sony and Microsoft are both touting their systems as 10-year consoles. But still, you probably could have saved yourself a little bit of money by just going with the standard gold-plated premium HDMI cable versus a special one that's 4K.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, so, and then a couple more bits about the video, guys, I just wanted to go over with. Now, at the very bottom, there was like not a disclaimer, but a little bitty note. And I've not heard Inside Gaming talk about this. I've watched several reviews on the video, people like breaking it down. No one's talked about this, and I just wanted to bring it up and see what you guys want to think. At the very bottom, it says, it states that the Xbox One system software is going to use a significant amount of storage. Now, most of you know when you get a 500 gigabyte hard drive, that hard drive, you're not going to get 500 gigs. You're going to get like 460, 470, somewhere in there. So what it's basically saying is, hey, guess what, guys? Our Xbox One system software, which is going to be a Windows-based software system, is going to take up a big amount of storage. So my question is, how much storage space is that actually going to take up? How much would you consider being a hindrance? Would 20 gigs be too much? Would 40 gigs? Would you be okay if I only did like 15 gigs? Hey, I can live with that. And then finally, they also revealed about the impulse triggers in the video. But unfortunately, in that little disclaimer thing I just talked about, it's only going to be on supported games. So it's going to be actually up to the developers to decide if they want to implement in that game or how they want to implement it.
Right.
So I just wanted to go over the video, guys, talk about it a little bit, see what your thoughts on it. And then, T-Money, you got our next story, right?
Yeah, it's something I ran across on Twitter. It's kind of an amusing story. Apparently there's been a push to make a fan-made Metroid movie on Kickstarter. I'm sure you've heard of Kickstarter.
Right.
And I think they're looking to raise 90,000 or they've raised 90,000.
Okay.
And the funny thing about it is if you remember a little while back, there was kind of a similar deal with the Final Fantasy VII fan-made movie project.
Right,
and
I remember
ultimately they didn't have the rights to the franchise, so it never happened.
Right.
Well, this is the same situation at this Metroid movie. They don't have any rights, or they haven't got any permissions from Nintendo. And Nintendo's really notorious for protecting their intellectual property. So I can't imagine that this is going to ever get made.
Yeah, this will probably never see the light of day.
Yeah.
I just don't see that happening at all.
But I totally think it's cool when fans want to make content about the things that they love, but when you're taking money from other people, which essentially people who give you money on Kickstarter, they're investors more or less.
Oh yeah, I think if you go back and look at the reboot project that a group of hardcore fans were trying to do for Chrono Trigger, and Square Enix went and did a cease and desist letter from their lawyer saying, end all of this right now, delete everything you have, or we're going to bring lawsuits.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think it's great that they're passionate about Metroid. I love Metroid. I think it's kind of sad that they're so clueless about what's gonna ultimately happen to their project.
Right, right. I mean, and it is kind of a sad story. You know, you've got people that really have this passion for things that they enjoy, and and they want to find some type of way to express it. And ultimately, at the end of the day, you got to respect copyrights, though, and you got to respect intellectual property.
Exactly.
So yeah, guys. All right, and moving on, guys, to our final story of the week, and I'm actually going to call it our game story of the week because it's really bizarre and I've never heard anything like it. Okay, guys. So Saints Row 4, special edition game. This is probably one of the most bizarre special edition games I've ever seen before. How bizarre and crazy is it? $1 million special. That's right. They're only going to have one available. It'll be for $1 million. A cool million will bring this home. And they're calling this special edition the Super Dangerous Wad Wad Edition. It's going to be available through UK's game store. That's like their version of GameStop over there. But it's going to have some pretty elaborate stuff for $1 million. Let me go down the entire list for you guys. Guys, it's going to have the Commander-in-Chief edition of the game, which I'm not sure has a bunch of extras and goodies in it. And a bunch of other physical stuff. So you're getting that. A full-size replica of the dubstep gun in the game. You get a full day of spy training. So you can learn to be a spy. You're actually going to get a trip on the spaceship Virgin Galactic. So that company that does the spaceship rides. You're going to get a 1-year membership to E25 Super Car Club, which I have no clue is. I assume it's some elaborate car club if you've got a really nice car. And you're going to get your very own Lamborghini.
Nice.
Yeah, so you get your own Lambo there. Cool stuff. You're going to get plastic surgery of your choice.
That's the clincher.
Yeah, so got that nick and whatever it's called. If you got that, I guess if you want to make your boobs bigger, if you're a girl, or maybe you're just not comfortable with your face and need to have it cut.
Is this a joke? Is this real? Is this
you know what? Honestly, dude, like I thought this was a joke, but I did some more research. This is for real. This is a for real thing happening.
Oh.
Continue on, guys. If that's not enough, you're gonna get a shopping spree with a personal shopper to create the ultimate Planet Saints capsule wardrobe. I'm not a Saints Row fan or have played the series per se. No hate or anything, but I've just never got into it. So that must be something with them. You're going to get a 7-night stay for 2 people at the Jefferson Hotel in Washington. A hostage rescue experience. I'm picturing 24 Jack Bauer running out and shooting guns and rescuing you from terrorists. A Toyota Prius and a 7-night stay at the top royal suite at the apologize guys, I'm gonna butcher this, Burj Al Arab, with the flight for 2 on that. So you know what, you're actually gonna get some of that money back, just through all the stuff. I mean, it's not just donating $1 million to Volition, but it's
wow. It just seems like such a random assortment of bizarre things, like a Toyota Prius. Toyota Prius. It seems like it's like they got a bunch of rich people together and was like, okay, throw in all the crap that you don't want, and we'll just make it into a prize. Like, I can't imagine anyone paying $1 million for this. But looking at what is offered in this, it almost seems like $1 million is kind of a good deal.
Yeah, actually, I mean, when you look at the Lambo, when you look at the trips and
space flight,
right, the space fly, I know those things are not cheap.
No, I'm surprised. I can't imagine that would be much less than $1 million in its own.
Yeah, that almost sounds like some promo stuff, like you said, from Virgin.
So I don't know. I'm really gonna be interested to see if someone actually buys this. You said there's only one of these available.
There's only one of them available. You have to pre-order it through the game store out of UK.
Can you look on the website and see this up there?
I haven't done it, but apparently where I got the story from, there was a link to go do it.
We'll have to post a link to our Facebook page if we can find that.
Yeah, I think actually we went and did that, but I think, oh, you know what? We didn't actually post the actual link to go to where the pre-order is at. We just did the story. So yeah, we'll have to do that. So I don't know. What do you guys think? If you had a cool million to blow, would you blow it on one special edition game? I don't know. I guess if maybe I had like $100 billion and I was filthy rich, I might do it. But still, that's probably one of the most ambitious, largest gaming special edition games I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, I haven't quite ever seen anything like this, and I can't imagine it's going to become an industry norm, but if it does, it's going to be really funny.
Yeah, it will be, definitely. So, guys, not a whole lot to talk about this week. That's our gaming stories. We're going to wrap it up right here. Guys, as always, join us on Facebook. Hit us with a like. We do different stuff there than we do here on the YouTube channel. We post stories. We do polls. We do all kinds of fun stuff. So head on over there. Hit us with a like. Join us over there. Stay connected with us on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, follow us on there. T-Money kind of handles that. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. I'm Techie.
T-Money.
And we'll see you next time. Peace.